Why did you break up with your previous partner? She got into a car with two men she met at a bar on a whim and drove 300 miles with them to a party city. Later, she bragged to me about how adventurous she was. I'm glad she was okay, but I knew at that moment that she wasn't right for me. Party City, the retail party supply chain, just making sure it's not code for an orgy or something lol. Used to work at a Party City. Orgies galore in that B. Hook me up with a reference. Going to apply right now. We had too much in common. I liked women, and she liked women. Ross, you and Carol split up because you had different interests. I think you both had the very same interest. She wouldn't stop having sex with other people, even though I specifically asked her not to. Oh, so you were with my ex-wife too? Guy walks into a bar. He pulls out a revolver and slams it down on the table and starts to yell. Who in here slept with my wife? After a few moments of silence, a voice erupted from the back of the room. You haven't got enough bullets. He only needs one after that. Always shoot the messenger. He got a prostitute pregnant while he was stationed in Germany. What happened then? Only reason I found out about the whole situation is because him and his buddies were regulars at the brothel, and I guess word got around that this girl was pregnant. I'm sure she kept the baby because he was in the military. Good on her. So he can pay up the year forever lol. His bunkmate told me about the whole thing. He liked me, so IDK if he thought by telling me I would want to be with him. I confronted my partner. He denied it, but eventually owned up to it. We tried working through it. He proposed. I accepted, but I couldn't forgive him. So we ended up breaking up. I was 19 over 20. He was 25. It was too much for me. Only reason I stayed with him so long after I found out was because he was my first everything, and I didn't want to lose that. I'm fine now, still have trust issues, but I do my best not to let that carry into any other relationships. No matter what life threw at her, my ex always managed to land on her back with her legs in the air. I'm sorry about your breakup, but this made me laugh. Because I was immature and thought that my ex was a bad person, but it turned out that I was the bad one. Been there, done that. I'm grateful that we've come to realize our shortcomings. It's a crucial first step towards improving ourselves and becoming better partners for our future girlfriends. I dated a girl that pulled the old "it was a test" thing. One night she told me she wanted to go out drinking, but didn't want me to have sex with her when she got drunk. I agreed. She got drunk and threw herself at me. I refused and put her to bed. She was pissed. The next day she said it was all a test and I passed. I told her if she ever did it again, we were done. I wasn't going to be toyed with. Well, we are not together now. Guess why? JFC. She de-iced. We were in an open relationship behind my back. Did you miss the note on the fridge? No. Didn't you read the comment? She put it on a post-it note on his back. This made me laugh. I came to her asking to talk about our problems and things I can do to help, and in return I asked her for help. She laughed at me. There were other problems, but that was the nail in the coffin. Because he downloaded Tinder, where he met a girl, was texting with her for over a month, told her he was living with his cousin, we were living together, and then went on a date with her. Lovely guy. Heard he fucks his cousin though. Good old sweet home Alabama. To put it plainly, the girl tried to kill me. What? Can you elaborate? She tried to run me over with her car as I walked on the sidewalk. Twice. She tried to run me over with her car 2 times. One was a huge mess she ended up paying for, including the damages to my car she caused. Then the next one was a cracked oil pan and ripped off skid plate for her car after hopping the sidewalk. Wait, you stuck around for a second time. She wanted to downgrade from being girlfriend to being my exclusive bang buddy right before her day. She got a lot of gifts from guys I never heard about, including a trip to Bali from Texas. Told her that wasn't for me. Damn. Texas ain't never got me nothing. We told the government to legalize weed. They responded by making it easier to buy guns. Texas is a state where you can't smoke weed, but it's easy to smoke people. Ralph Barbosa. She cheated on me with a coworker and with another guy I thought was a friend. She was unable to comprehend why I'd throw away the 4 years we had together. Yeah, that was her frame of mind. Not sorry about what she did, but upset that I couldn't just accept it and move on. Projection is when an individual unconsciously projects their thoughts, feelings, or behaviors onto someone else. It's sometimes consciously done. She knew exactly what she was doing, and when it was over, a mutual friend asked me why I put up with it so long. Apparently she had been cheating a while and people assumed I knew because she was so open about it. Man, I had some terrible friends. The only apology I got was from the ex-friend she cheated with. At least he had the courage to admit what happened and apologize. She cheated. F you Jessica. F you Jessica. Because they threatened to break up with me first. The old switcheroo. Happy Sikh Day. 1. Codependency. 2. Poor communication. 3. Sexual incompatibility. 4. A lack of willingness to seek care for mental health. Could literally copy and paste this for my own answer. It sucks. Definitely sucks. I was with my ex for 8 years. Super sad it didn't work out, even though I was the one who called it. 5 years on my end. But aside from that, could copy paste that second statement as well. It was like ashes in my mouth to admit to myself that her failure to handle her depression and anxiety was such an issue, even with all the other S on the table. Because I like my women, like I like my coffee, without 4 other guys D in it. Lol. Sorry to hear this, dude. It's whatever, Mayo. We were teenagers in high school. I met my next GF about 4 months later, and she was the one. We celebrate 14 years married next week. Good for you, dude. So happy for you both. It's really something to find PPL committed in relationships that long. She was selfish, emotionally immature, and very manipulative. It seems I entered a relationship with your ex. Me 3. Cause I'm a dumbass and didn't want to marry her after 2.5 years of perfect relationship. I didn't want to have kids at that time, and she got really depressed and we broke off. I was 27 when we broke off, and sometimes I feel regret. Everything was going super good. We'd done lockdown 24/7 together, never one dispute. Props to you for taking accountability. First comment I've seen so far that wasn't blaming the other party. She had way more life experience than me. She wasn't getting much out of the relationship. What led to that situation? Did you two just want different things? Wedding hookup. Had been single for years. Intense attraction. I usually make decisions emotionally, not logically. She wanted more penises than I could provide. Other good old cocktopus. Because he kept cheating on me, and I was done with him and all the using of drugs at the time. Nick. I'm fixing to because I can't live with someone like her. Terribly hygiene. Brushes teeth only if she is going out and maybe showers once a week. She will leave food out 4 days before either I pick it up or say something. She would rather sit around and play games/watch TV or go out with friends than help me with chores around the house or help pay bills. I work around 60 hours a week, 10 to 12 hour days, not including the commute. She works from home and works about half my work hours. I'm tired of taking care of someone like they're a child. We had an agreement to alternate chores, but I end up doing them 90% of the time. Sex is almost non-existent, maybe once a month, and even then she doesn't do anything, and it feels like I'm having sex with a doll. After having several arguments about these things, I'm done. Not to mention the damage her animals, and friends have done to my house within 3 years. I have to replace all the carpet, replace a couple doors, replace blinds, and fix holes in my walls. Also tired of how little effort she puts in. She complains about not doing things together, but I can't afford to pay 80% of the bills. Don't have the time to clean the house, spend time with my dying father, and work on my business, and go out without any help. She has maximumed out my credit card and doesn't pay on it, even though we had agreed that she would only buy what she could pay for right then and there. She owes me and my father over $2,000. I paid for her modeling school, thousands of dollars, that she does nothing with. I'm tired of being the constant problem, even though I'm doing the stuff she asks me for and more. I'm just done. Do it. She asked to take a break, and then when the break ended and we got back together, I was just no longer interested. If you don't mind me asking, what was the break for? She didn't really give me a reason. Just asked for a break of like 2 weeks. I've heard rumors from other people I know that she might have cheated on me, but I have no clue if these are true. Ross and Rachel. Is this from a show? Because she was only at her best when she wasn't the sickest in the room. When I got better, she was left with herself. Neither of us liked who we saw, but she was married to the destruction of alcohol because she thought it was the best she deserved. She drank herself to death a couple of years ago. That's rough. Cheated. Fucked me out of 2 grand. Ruined my life. Then she married a redneck. Ballooned up to 300 pounds and had 3 ugly kids. So I guess I won in the end. I'd say you won. She did not appreciate the things I did for her. She didn't make me feel loved. And no more sex. Username checks out. Because she was very possessive and controlling. So much that she got to the point of being aggressive when she didn't get what she wanted. Because she cheated multiple times and still, for some reason, decided she still had the moral high ground. An awful human with such a high opinion of herself. Gaslighting. She wanted to have kids, I did not. I know a pretty big celeb who was dating a friend of mine. He didn't want any more kids as he's already had 2 who were now teenagers, and the mother, his ex, was so crazy that he just was like, I'm done. My friend knew he didn't want kids going in, and they had the most beautiful relationship and were tons of fun and deeply in love and have a great life together, her and his words. Suddenly around year 5 she just becomes adamant that she wants kids, and he's like, no way. I could not have been more clear, etc. They end up arguing all the time because of it, and before you know it, she's ended it and they both move on. But I feel they're both sad and cut up over it. She eventually gets with a new guy. Finds out she can't have kids. It's crazy, isn't it? We were still in love when we broke up, which makes it insanely hard. But then I met my true life partner afterwards.